What's happening, party people? Happy Monday. Man, let me tell you something. This weekend didn't quite go how I expected. Friday, I had a doctor's appointment in Lexington, which is, man, almost 2 hours away, about an hour and a half away. Went down there. On the way back, I wasn't feeling quite right. Stopped by the hospital, got checked up. I got the big C word. Man, so I kind of self isolated over the weekend, got as much rest as I could, which was a lot. And unfortunately, I got to get it going today. So today's video, I was at a salvage yard picking some things. I pulled a fuel line from a car, a 99 vehicle. Those 99 2000 fuel lines are buried on that engine. So I posted that, and then I messed around with the ECC again. I just want to make a shout out to, man, all my Patreon supporters. I'm kind of surprised a lot of my viewers kind of begged me to start that Patreon page just to be able to support me, and I appreciate it. I posted it. I don't do special things there for those people that support me there. They just doing it because of what they get from my everyday videos and the videos and the help that I've given them in the past. And man, I just want to say I appreciate it. On this regular YouTube side, man, I ran some numbers again, checked some of the analytics, I think they call it. And man, my income on YouTube is about half, less than half what it was just 3 years ago. And my views are about half of what it was 3 years ago. So that's kind of correlating. You got every 12-year-old and above, making videos about stuff that they know something about or want to know something about, and that absorbs the views from people like me. Of course, I kind of specialize in Volvo stuff, so I'm kind of a niche market. The guys that are not niche, they got 2, 3, 10 million subscribers, and I only have about 224,000. So I mean, on the big scheme of thing in this YouTube deal, I really consider myself a gnat on the horse's rear end when it comes to how to really make money in this YouTube thing. So again, I appreciate those people on Patreon. Now, I've been running that, I want to say, man, this is going on 5 years, and I don't push it a lot, but I only have about 112 paid subscribers on their thing. And I tell people, every $5 that I get counts for me. So if you're a subscriber or considering doing that, it looks like I'm getting about 88% of the funds that come in through Patreon. So that's good. So I'm not whining or complaining about that. It's not like I've heard that they consume a lion's share of that. I've heard people say YouTube or Google was keeping 40%. They're not doing that. They're keeping somewhere between 11 and 12%, which is not bad on a $5 donation. A lot of people do $5 donations. Some do $2. If the lion's share of you folks that watch every day did $2 a month on that Patreon side, that probably would make up the deficit of these lack of views and stuff I'm getting on this YouTube side. But anyway, enough of that. I'm going to get back to work today because I need to, and get some parts shipped out today that people requested. Try to get this S70 with this fuel situation squared away. If anybody has any good ideas on that. I chased some wires on it the other day, and for some reason, when I look at the scan gauge, it was saying that the throttle was at watt. I found maybe some grounding issues. I'm getting continuity from the ECU harness over to the sensor harness, but when I check the continuity from the sensor connection to the ground on the car, I got a lot of resistance there. So something's going on where this car is not having good ground. I hooked up a sideline crown to one of the sensors, and now it's reading about 30% watt instead of 99% watt. It's reading about 30% throttle open, somewhere between 25 and 29% throttle open. So that car's still not running right. I'm going to pull that alternator, probably have that alternator tested, reinstall that, look for broken wires down there. And if that thing checks out good and doesn't fix the problem, I'm probably going to have to replace a wire harness on that thing, because that's just going crazy. So anyway, I appreciate you all watching. I hope you're having a great day, and thanks for your support. Kicking off the Tinker Day back out here at this 850. There was another 850 out here. I thought it was recently placed. Went to go grab a couple parts off of it today. Gone. Thought I was going to get some parts off of that. Anyway, I'm checking on a couple parts off of this thing that may work. Then I got to go get some parts off of a newer model. So let's keep it moving. This piece right here seems to be coming up missing on people's vehicle. That one's cracked, so I don't want that one. But windshield installers are losing those pieces. Let me see if I can find what I need out here. I believe this road was housing that green 850. It is gone. And a white V70 that is gone. So I can't get parts off of them. I'm gonna glance at that C70 right there. I don't know what year it is, but I may be able to get a part off of that. But man, this losing this row kind of hurt me a little bit. I was counting on that to be here. 2001 C70. Guess there wasn't much left on this car, man. This thing is bad. Bad. I need those, so let me grab that. I don't even think I brought my tent. Here's a 2000 V70. Looks like these roof trims are in decent shape. I might take them, because the roof trim on Panther are going bad. Very minor cracking. The other side is cracked up. Man, looks like it's got a good windshield. I don't see any marks in that. Hood looks good. Hood liner. Oh, it's a slick top. Dash is busted up. From this car, I'm gonna take this fuel line that goes to the back of the engine. I'm gonna look at it, make sure it's not damaged. I'm gonna take this front engine mount from down there under the starter. People need those to do swaps for their P80RN cars. So let's get started. First thing I'm gonna do is take off this wheel, pull that skirt back, and take a good look at that fuel line. Fuel line looks good, undamaged. So let's get this CV axle out of the way and take the brackets off the back of the fuel line and disconnect the fuel line there. Get the CV axle out, the bracket loose. Now I need to support the engine somehow, stacking wheels or something. Then I'm gonna take this mount loose here and drop the subframe. Then I'm gonna come up here, start removing the accessories. I removed this little vent tube from the computer box. Now I'm going to remove this power steering fluid tube here off the power steering pump. Then I'm going to cut this serpentine belt and take loose the power steering pump. Then I'm going to take this hose off here and cut this hose out of the way here. I think I'm going to remove the fan. That's going to give me access to the belt. So to get the fan out, I'm going to take those 8mm out there, those T25s up there, unplug the electrical connectors to the fan, undo all the vacuum and wire harnesses off the fan, and lift the fan up and out of the way. Took the fuel rail loose from the intake manifold. Now I'm gonna take this bar loose and pop that fuel line out of there because I don't have the proper tool to disconnect it. So let me go ahead and take those screws loose. Then I'm gonna take the intake manifold loose. To make it easier to get these screws out of this pump, it'll be better to take the computers out, but I didn't bring the tool. But take the box cover off, pull the tin out there, pull the cover off, unlatch, take this housing off of it. Took the power steering pump loose and swung it to the side over here. Left that pressure line hooked up. Then I took a bolt out of the side of the alternator, 12mm. Then I took the 4 bolts out of the AC compressor. 2 of those holds the alternator in. The 2 upper bolts in the AC compressor. So after I got the 1 bolt out the side, the 2 bolts off the bottom of the alternator, I lifted that up out of the way. Then I got the 2 bolts at the bottom of the AC compressor. So that AC compressor is loose because this fuel line runs right there behind this bracket. So I got to take this engine bracket loose. I got 2 bolts there, 1 bolt here, 1 bolt here, looks like 1 bolt here, and that should get that engine bracket loose. Hopefully. I might have to take the idler loose too, so that I can get that fuel line out. I also need to take this intake manifold off, so I'm gonna do that next. And this has a good tube for the P80 cars. All right, I got 7 bolts out of there. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't have the 7th one out. That one's still there. I'm gonna take this bracket loose before I take that loose in case that engine moves, which I don't think it should. And hopefully I'll be able to pry this bracket out of here. I'm gonna get the intake manifold off next. Took the spark plug cover off so that I get the PCV hose loose. I cut the hose off the side of this intake manifold. I took the starter out so I could get the cord loose from the ETM, or I could have took the ETM off. I pulled the starter and lifted the intake manifold out of the way. Now I have 1 bolt left in this bracket, and then I'm gonna try to get this bracket here. So let me go ahead and take that bracket loose. Try to put something under this wheel to support the engine, because I need to take this mount loose, remove this mount actually, so that I can get that fuel line from around it. And I need to disconnect the fuel line there. It has its own disconnect, so I'm gonna push it in and unplug it.
Something wrong?
And there he is, folks, Buster Brown. Tell him you can't believe it.
I can't believe it. We see Mr. Brown.
Trying to get this fuel line.
Oh, this is...
Yeah, it's hard, man. So I got that last bolt out of the bracket came off. I got a bracket here, 10mm. I need to take that loose, and then I'll take that mount off the front and try to support this engine somehow to get this thing out of here. Had to pull this front engine mount. I couldn't get it out without pulling a harmonic balancer because I didn't have the right tool for that. So let me pry this out of the way, then I should have my fuel line. There it is. My fuel line should be loose.
You good?
Now I need to unplug it from there. Push that sleeve in, then pull the line out, and we should be good to go. Let me go up top and pull it through. There's the fuel line.
That's what I'm saying. And then when you get warm, the steam go away.
Yeah, because
So,
it's burning off real fast.
so the gasket is leaking.
Yeah.
Was there, man.
Got that front bracket. Buster Brown wanted the thermostat, took that. Looks like there's new timing belt parts on this thing. Man, those timing belt parts look good. I thought I saw
What's that?
the date. Oh, I buried the cover. Anyway, let me get out of here. I got stuff to do. Getting the little pull here released. That one's broke. I got the one from the other side. And I'm getting getting this trim piece here. A lot of people need this. It's broke. I'll post it on my website. This is a 93 transmission. It's got that throwout bearing there. And the fork doesn't have that clip. Somebody said the tips of these were plastic. I don't see no plastic there. But it does hook in there. And it seems to rest on there. And it doesn't seem to have play in it like some of these other forks. So I think this fork does not need that spacer that goes under there because it doesn't have the hole that clips it in. If somebody knows any different, let me know. Picked up a knob and this little arm for this recycle motor. So hopefully we get this in and program this thing and be good to go. You got to hook this on there, turn it a certain way, and it hooks onto the motor that direction. Got that thing in position. We're going to fire this up and run it through the motions. Here we are. We're going to hit adjust motors. It's going to say that. I'll say yes. Start the engine, hit enter. And it failed for some reason. Not sure why. So I'm going to run through a couple things and then tell it to try it again. I had to disable the error codes. Then I went to try to reprogram and it said I failed again. So let me see what's going on and try to get this thing working. We are going to try the unit from the salvage yard. Totally different numbers from the one I just took out. Not sure what that means. But let's see if this one works. It has error codes in it, but it's not locked up. So I'm gonna clear the error codes and see if it functions right. Establishing communication. Let's read the codes. 2 codes. Cabin fan motor, recycle motor sensor. So it may have picked that up already. Let's try to clear these and see what happens. Alright, they're erased. I'm going to go ahead and hit recycle. It's already given a recycle code. I hit recycle, nothing happened. And it's flashing like it has error code still. Cut the AC off. That thing does not want to move. So let's read the codes again, see if it gave us a recycle motor code. Oh, it's moving now. I think that's on recycle. I'm gonna go to fresh air. Did that move a little bit? I think it moved. Let me read the codes again. No codes. Let's see how this thing works. I got it on fresh. Go to recycle, see what happens. Nothing's going on. See if I can adjust some other things here in the diagnostics here. Left temp, right temp. Driver temp 1%. I moved it to full hot, see if it moved. Doesn't move. I moved to full cold, see if it moves. Oh, it moved a little bit. And it moved the passenger temp. The driver's temp knob moved the passenger's temp. Oh, that don't seem right. I moved the passenger temp all the way to close. And it did move. I got it at there right now. It's at 42%. I took the drivers to 100%. And it took the passenger to 100%. I'm going to take them both to full hot. And that driver's still down there. Went to face vent. I don't know if I'm getting any more face vent action. Let me go to feet. Oh, yeah. The mode shutter's working. I went to face. That's defrost. And I feel like I do have some defrost air up there. Not much on the temp though. I could get 1% on the driver's side temp. That's crazy. Let me mess with this, see what I come up. We have no codes and control on both sides. We had to replace that driver's side heat control motor again, back to the one that was in there. Still don't appear to have any recycle control. Not sure what's going on with that, but we're gonna leave it like this. Well, that's it for today. Struggling with those ECCs on those 98 through 2000 cars. They seem to have more problems than the 850 cars. But hey, I appreciate your support. Again, like, share, and subscribe. And if you can, support me on that Patreon side. Hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching.